Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Life with Mike, and today's gonna be more of a tech video. It's still, well, it's November, early November, it's still really nice outside, so we're gonna be waiting a little bit for snow and for that first ice. So in this time, while I'm getting all my gear ready for the ice fishing season, I thought I'd do a whole bunch of little tech DIYs, how they work, kind of little reviews on all the stuff that I use for our overnight camping excursions. So we just got back, or I guess just finished the Winnipeg Ice Fishing Show. It went super well. Tons of venues, tons of new stuff that came out. I mean, of course, it's over for this year, but if you're ever in Winnipeg, especially next year when the Ice Fishing Show is around, go check it out. Kickerfish put on this year. They even have like filleting competitions. They have a whole bunch of booths out there. So yeah, it went really well, and I got to learn a lot. So it just makes me realize how new I am to all this ice fishing. As I was there, I was able to meet a couple people that watch this YouTube channel. I do a lot of this stuff more on my own. I just have a general interest on all this kind of stuff, and I always do a lot of research when I'm looking for different products and stuff like that as well. So here's just going to be another real-time view of this product. Today's product is going to be the Buddy Flex. Now I do have the Big Buddy as well, and I have this Buddy Flex. I also have some sunflowers, which I don't really use anymore. But I had a couple people ask me if I've ever found out what the runtime is on the Buddy Flex. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. Of course, on the side here, you can open up the panel. They do have a quick connect that you can attach it to a, 5, 10, 20 pound tank, whatever kind of propane tank that you want to. And of course, up in this little compartment up here is your battery for your electronic ignition. I don't really ever hook this up to anything big because most of the time when we're doing overnights, it is quite cold, so I do have to have the Big Buddy. I will use this as a booster, on those really cold days, or we just can't get that heat to transfer through the tent. So this one will be on a booster, and it does have a little bit more of a range. So the Big Buddy heater is more of a direct heat. If it's placed in front of you, you're definitely going to feel that radiant heat hitting you. This one still has that radiant heat, but because of its shape and that half moon, I guess, element, you can feel a lot more on the corners and stuff as well. Now, with all that being said and done, anytime you're going to be using any of these kind of heaters, make sure you use a carbon monoxide detector. Now, I like the one with the display, just so I can kind of keep an eye on it. I'm going to see if I can get this thing to go off. I have an old classic car, if you've seen in any of my other videos. Most of the time when I turn that thing on, within like 5-10 seconds, I start to get readings on this thing right away. So maybe one day when I get this garage all cleaned up, I'll get that car running. I'll have the camera on here and show you how quick this actually will read that carbon monoxide. So, just as much as we do overnights, I think me and Callie did 14 weekends on the ice last winter. I think we're gonna try to do more this winter. I cannot say how cautious we are with the carbon monoxide that these things do expel. So be very cautious with this. Make sure you have proper ventilation. Know what you're getting into, especially if you're doing overnights. Make sure someone else is around, do a day trip plan. Make sure someone knows that you're there and check in on them as well. So with all that being said as well, just be safe on the ice because you never know what's going to happen, especially when you're out here in Winnipeg. So like I said, you can hook that all up. Now, the big thing I had a question with is on the back, you can attach these 1 pound tanks. Now, if you run it like I do, I usually have a whole bunch of these tanks. This is a used tank. I do end up filling my 1 pound tanks with this little adapter. Same thing with that. You're not supposed to. It says directly on the bottle not to. I've been doing it for quite a few years. I've never had an issue, and there's a certain way to do it. So I'm super confident with it, but if that's something you're interested in, I'm sure there's other videos out there. I was gonna do a video on how I fill my 1 pound tanks as well. It's just, I think with how safe you have to be, and I mean, there's no such thing as being too safe with that. You could be the safest guy in the world, there could still be something that happens, but that's one video I don't think I'm gonna do. But there's tons out there, feel free to check them out. So yeah, just basically screw on your 1 pound tank. Now, the test I'm gonna be doing today is the run time. I've had a lot of people ask, when I go overnight, how long will my Big Buddy heater last? How long will the Flex heater last? I did a little bit of research online. I couldn't find much with it. So today, as I'm cleaning up this absolute pigsty of a garage I have right now, I'm gonna put it on high first. I'm gonna absolutely crank it, and let it run the whole time while I'm here. I'm gonna start the timer. As you can see here, I'll start the timer as soon as this is lit, and we're gonna let it run all the way through. Now with this tank, like I said, it is refilled by me, but I do have a baseline on my scale. I have a baseline on what a brand new factory tank is. So this will be filled up the exact same, the same amount as one that you get from like Canadian Tire, Walmart, or whatever else. So the way that I'm gonna do it is measured by grams. So when I fill it up to do the low setting or medium to low setting, I'll put that exact same grams in there as well. I'll do the exact same same conditions. It is in an enclosed garage. I'm gonna have the garage door cracked just a little bit, and I do have a ventilator up here, so I'm not overly worried with the fumes inside my garage. But they'll be in the same condition, not outside, causing any disturbance with the air. So let's get this thing started. And I guess for people that don't know, basically on the back there is this switch right there. Now of course you just turn it to pilot, and then when you push this in, you'll be able to hear the gas. Kind of hard to do that with one hand here, but you hold this in, you hold your ignite. Once it's lit, you still want to hold in the pilot light on for, you know, 5-10 seconds, or you could let go. If the flame is still there, you're good to go. So I'm gonna open this up. Timer started. So I was gonna do a big time lapse of how this is all gonna work, but I got a whole bunch of stuff to move around. I'm gonna be moving this around a little bit, so I guess you're just gonna have to trust me. But like I said, I have this timer started. Once it starts to flicker, and I'll be able to show you a video. Once it starts to flicker, I'll put another video on of what I consider being empty. There is a spot when it starts to get really low on fuel, you'll start to see the element on the front start to kind of flicker a bit, and you actually start to smell that propane a little bit. It's not burning as clean as it could. So like I said, let's let this run. I'm gonna do some cleaning. We'll check back up in a little bit. All right, well, I thought I'd do, I don't know if it's a mid-time update or whatever else. We are running at around 42, 43 minutes there so far. Seems like it's still going pretty strong. Flame is still really good. It's getting super hot in here, so it's definitely working. It's not too bad outside. I think it's about 4 degrees outside right now, so it doesn't take much. My garage is really well insulated, so I don't have to worry about that. But I've also, you know, kept the detector on top of it, you know, just to kind of see if the reading would ever change. And so far it's still at 0, so I'm not overly concerned. Like I said, I do have some the garage door slightly open at the bottom, and I have my circulatory fan on as well, so I'm not overly concerned with the carbon monoxide. But so far, yeah, over 40 minutes, still seems like it's going pretty strong on that 1 pound bottle. So we're just gonna wait some more time, gonna do some more cleaning, and I'll get back to you when it starts to flicker a bit. All right, guys, while we are at over the hour mark here, seems like it's still going pretty strong. I haven't seen a lot of flickering to it. You can see a little bit, but the sound still, it still sounds consistent, which is good. Usually I'll hear it kind of flutter. It is 1 hour 26, and it's still going. I'm not overly concerned with the way that it's burning yet, because the flickering, if you can hear it, is very minimal. It's hard to explain on what you get used to hearing when these things start to fade out. I thought for sure 10 minutes ago that this thing would have been starting to flicker pretty heavily. And once again, looking at the back here, that tank is almost completely iced up. That's also a good indication that it's gonna start to be empty from where we are here. So like I said, just gonna keep letting it run, and we'll get back to you once again. All right, so we are at 1 hour 35 minutes, and it is starting to flicker pretty heavily. I don't know if you can hear that at all. If I go to a lower setting, that is as low as it'll go, and it really starts to flicker. Now, it's not the flickering that I'm overly concerned with, is you can actually start to kind of smell the unburnt propane. We're still not reading anything in this room on our detector at all, so I'm not overly concerned with that. Like I said, I did have some pretty good ventilation in here. But I'm probably gonna call it, if it was me in the tent, I'm gonna call it as I would in the tent. So when it starts to do this, this is when I would change it out. So I'm gonna take the tank off and kind of show you that it is still, so that's pretty iced up, and I'll show you that it is empty there. But I think overall with our first demonstration here, we are looking at, yeah, hour 35, hour 36 on maximum running, you know, the whole time. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, I am going to do another couple tests and I'll put the information here. And that's going to be the other timelines that I've done. So like I said, obviously it works really well. It does give off a little bit of a different smell than the Big Buddy heater. I'm not sure if it's because of the style of, I guess, element that they used, but same thing. I mean, we're not getting any readings off it, so I'm not overly concerned with that. But don't ever take the carbon monoxide sensor shut-off switch. Don't ever take that for granted. Make sure you have a couple other sensors, especially if you're gonna be using it in the tent, just to be safe. So all that said and done, I think we're ready for winter. I'm gonna let this run a couple more times. I'll put the data here, and like I said, maybe I'll do the Big Buddy. The Big Buddy I almost never use with 1 pound tanks. I only do the 20 pound tank, so it literally runs a couple days on that. So that's something I probably won't I won't do on a test here. So hopefully that helps with the Big Buddy Flex. If you have any other questions, feel free to write a comment below. If you like this style of video, feel free to subscribe as well. I do a whole bunch of weird random things, especially when it comes to camping and fishing. And because ice fishing is coming up pretty soon, stay tuned, because we are going to be doing a whole bunch of overnight on the ice as well. I'll show you all my setups, what we use, go a little bit more in depth on, you know, cots and undermatting, blankets, heaters, electronics, everything. So stay tuned for that. But until we see you back either on the water or ice, keep it real.